Hello, kia ora, namaste, maluelele, bulavanaka, talofalava, and welcome to the 2022 New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament, coming to you live from Komar Sports Centre in Papatoetoe, Auckland. I am Brad Pittman and we'll be bringing you all the action here from Finals Day and the medal matches here on Easter Monday in New Zealand. It's the day all of our teams have been working towards, with medals, pride and bragging rights on the line here. New Zealand Heritage Hockey has brought you non-stop action over Easter weekend, and today promises to be no different. Anything can happen in finals hockey, and as our teams give it everything they have left in the tank, you can throw the form books and scripts in the rubbish. First game up today is the women's bronze medal match between the Heritage Barbarians and the New Zealand Indians. Both teams have impressed and improved all weekend, and neither will want to finish this weekend with a loss, and it's that pride and desperation we're most looking forward to here in Game 1. The Indian women have continued to grow and develop a young group of talented players and will be a force in upcoming tournaments. They've uncovered some real gems over this tournament. The Heritage Barbarians will come in as favourites today, going narrowly close to making today's final, coming up short against the New Zealand Māori. The matchup between the captains in the midfield, Manisha Jerem for the Indians and Rocio Gonzalez for Heritage Barbarians, is sure to be one that excites both spectators here at Papatoetoe and watching along online. I'm joined in commentary today by Seedal Patel from the Pukako Indian Sports Club, who has been here all weekend at Heritage Hockey. Seedal, it's an early start and it's a big match, especially for the Indian women who are yet to find points this weekend. What excites you most about today's game?
That the matchup between these two will be quite good. The New Zealand Indian ladies have been improving all weekend, and you can see that they are wanting it and they're building and they're getting there. So it'll be really good to see all that hard work being played out today.
Yeah, and it has been a tough tournament. Like I said, both of these teams missing out on today's final, but a lot of pride to play for here, and a bronze medal at Heritage Hockey. So the matchup between the New Zealand Indians in the black strip and Heritage Barbarians in the white is sure to be a cracker. The umpires for today's match are Sarah Cox and Carlette Human, and as we check out the Indian team list for today, they have been the big improvers at this year's tournament. I mentioned earlier the development and new players they've uncovered. They'll have their third coach for the weekend in Suresh Wallab out there. He'll do a fantastic job, but they'll need a big shift from the experienced group of Alyssa Earnshaw, Shannon Deacon and Misha Tately, who have been good this weekend, but will take one last final push from them if they're going to get over this Heritage Barbarian women's side. And while the Barbarians have been a mixed bag this weekend, one thing they have done consistently is go forward at pace. They can break out from absolutely anywhere, and with the strength and determination of the likes of Alicia Donovan, Jess Jones and Gemma Jones, backed up by Rocio Gonzalez, we expect fireworks in the open play when they can get it. As I mentioned, the Indian team will be coached today by Suresh Wallab and the Barbarians by Hitendra Patel, as the teams come out for their final presentation here. Seedal, what do you want to see in the first quarter from this Indian women's side?
I want to see them stretch the ball or stretch the play. They were doing that from the second day, which is change how they played completely, and it was good to see they're able to move the ball a little bit more and get that height and get through the defence. So it'll be good to see some of that today.
Yeah, I think the Indian side looked really good when they were able to put pressure on opposition defences, and it's hard-working players up the front for them, the likes of Jana Verbeek, Jalisha Singh, Divyani Soma, who are going to have to put in a pretty big effort today to continue that pressure. It's day 4, which means tired legs and tired lungs, but they look good when they can push players forward and really be aggressive in their work. The Heritage Barbarians, like I said, they've got attacking prowess from across the park. They've got a strong defensive unit with Tuhia Hohepa, Chelsea Hepi, Jessica Weck, Trinell Woods-Edaweda all playing roles at the back for their team. But it's been Kalia Norton in goal, who has been an absolute standout, great young goalkeeper for the Heritage Barbarians women's side, and has been keeping them in games all weekend.
Absolutely, yeah, she's been amazing. Her composure in the goal as well, and just doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's an excellent opportunity for a young goalkeeper at a tournament like this, going up against some of the premier players from across the communities in our country, and she's been equal to the task many a time. So for those of you watching along at home, and if this is the first game you have seen of the weekend, keep an eye out especially for the exploits of Kalia Norton in goal. And the other goal today will be Michelle Mahoney for the Indian women's side. She's been good as well. And both teams will have to be good in front of goal because there's going to be opportunities. Day 4 hockey creates a lot of space on the field. There's tired legs, and if teams can keep the ball moving, we'll create plenty of opportunity out here. Now, Cedal, you will, your Indian counterparts will be looking forward to QBT down in Christchurch this year.
Absolutely.
It's a big trip and a big shift down to the South Island.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how that tournament is shaping up.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. I think the big thing will be getting the numbers down there. Yes, it is quite far for a lot of the North Island teams, but it's always a good weekend to catch up with family and see everyone again. So definitely looking forward to it, and yeah, it'll be good.
Awesome. As we see the teams come out here and mark their final positions, it will be the Indians with first use of the ball through Jalisha Singh and Misha Tately. Again, the Indians in the black strip and the Heritage Barbarians in the white. This is game 1 of day 4, the medal day, bronze medal match between the Barbarians and Indians. And that's action underway here from game 1. It is Misha Tately that attempts to come forward, works a free hit there at halfway for the Indians, and they come forward quickly. Just unable to link up there with Jana Verbeek, but it will give the Indians an opportunity here to put a high press on. You can see in shot there that is Verbeek and Jalisha Singh. The start that we wanted to see from the Indians, nice and high in their press, but the Barbarians work out well there with Emma Irwin, who's been impressive in the midfield for the Barbarians. Only falls as far as Shanae Phillips for the Indian side, and she attempts to come forward. First exchanges here a little bit scrappy. There's always nerves in a medal match, and it's the last game of the tournament. It's Alicia Donovan on the ball. Manisha Jerem does well there just to take that one under control. This is Jalisha Singh with the ball. She's dynamite going forward. Attempting to link up with Shanae Phillips, just overruns that one there. But Shannon Deacon will come onto the ball for the Indians. There's a special mention to Alicia Donovan from the New Zealand Heritage Barbarian side. She picked up day 3 player of the day on the women's side of the tournament. So watch for her relentless effort, both sides of the ball as an attacker for this Heritage Barbarian side. So Emma Irwin again has just fallen out to a defensive role, working with Jess Weck to help outlet the ball. She trying to line up Gemma Jones. The Indians come away with the ball through Misha Tately, and that's a fantastic transfer of play to Jalisha Singh. She can link up with Jana Verbeek. Just goes out there past Anjali Panchia for the Indian woman. Again, the Indians here sitting in a high press. One thing we can notice off the ball, Cedal, is Shannon Deacon's pressed a lot higher forward than she has over the last couple of days.
Yes.
Looking to trigger some of this press.
Yes, it's quite good with her stick skill as well. It will just help out that midfield a bit more to be able to just release the ball going forward to the likes of Jalisha, who once she gets the ball can just take off. Yeah.
So both Shannon Deacon and Misha Tately taking turns at that higher midfield role there. They'll know if they can turn the ball up high up the field, that'll really unlock the likes of Jalisha Singh and Anjali Panchia going forward. It's Alicia Donovan pulling it in under control here for the Heritage Barbarians. She's got a player in front, and that's Murphy Phillips for the Heritage Barbarians. And Jamie Webber comes out of defence for the Indians, but only as far as Rocio Gonzalez, the captain here for the Barbarians. She's been fantastic all weekend as they get the good circle entry, and unfortunately there for the Indians, they will concede the first penalty corner of the match, and that is the excitement of Rocio Gonzalez jumping onto a midfield turnover. Cedal, she's been fantastic all weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. She has definitely been everywhere on the field. She, 1 minute you'll see her as a defender, next you'll see her in the circle getting those PCs. So she's a very exciting player to watch. Yeah, and it's that turn of pace there paired with her incredible skill set that just makes everything look so easy when she's around the ball. It's the Heritage Barbarians with first use of the set piece. Looks like Gemma Jones will go down to pull the ball out. They've got a single bracket at the top with Jess Jones.
A little untidy their execution for the Barbarians. They've got another opportunity here if they can link up, and it will be Shannon Deacon getting out in front of the goal for the Indians, just sending that one away. Unfortunately there for the Heritage Barbarians, they would have liked a better first opportunity. They did score from a similar penalty corner like that yesterday, but Indians did well to shut that down. And here is Gonzalez again, just plays it up into the legs of Shannon Deacon, and she's coming forward here, Gonzalez. Linked up well there with Alicia Donovan, who's just thrown a ball into Jess Jones, who can't get past the stick of Gurleen Gill.
She's been fantastic this tournament as well. Her solid strength in taking the ball up the line has been quite noticeable, I think.
Yeah, Gurleen Gill playing her hockey out of Bethlehem College down in Tauranga. She's been strong for the Indian women's side, part of that group at the back there that's allowed Misha Tately and Shannon Deacon just to play a little higher up the field and help their midfield and attacking group. So great find and great development there for the Indian women's side. There's Gurleen Gill. Manisha Jerem does well just working out of their defensive end. They've weathered the first few attacks from the Barbarians, the Indians, and it is Deacon on the ball here and has Tatley behind her. Apologies, that's Alyssa Earnshaw with Shannon Deacon, and it's the Barbarian side putting on the high press here, as both teams will want to search for points early and make the other team do all of the work coming out of the back. Yeah, you can see Alicia Donovan there getting her troops right up on the 5-yard line. They'll set again, and the Indians find their way a little further up the field. Seedle, this Indian women's side won't want to go home this tournament without getting a win on the board. I'm sure they'll be well motivated to finish the tournament well here. They've got some young players, but it's an improving side that if they can make it all work and get it all going together, they have had the ability to score goals over this tournament.
Absolutely, yeah. You can definitely tell over the weekend that their improvement has been immense. Unlucky yesterday they couldn't get those couple of goals in from the sideline. It did look like it was legit, but unfortunately no. But yeah, if they keep up the good work that they've been doing and just keep building, they definitely will move forward and be a good team.
Yeah, this is Gurleen Gill on the ball for the Indians.
Wonder if she's available to play for Indians, for Bookie Indians, QBT this year.
Just attempts to go over, but little execution there. It is a tough day 4 games in 4 days here for a lot of these ladies. As Rosario Gonzalez just turns on the midfield ball. Jess Weck just lets that one get in front of her, but there will be some good work there by Rana Tamati to cover up for the Barbarians. Manisha Jerem, good physical presence in there for the Indians. She comes forward quickly and has players ahead if she can get through, but it's Jess Weck there with a nice low stop for the Barbarians. And Tamati again working out. Gonzalez with a little 3D skill here. That's the battle between Gonzalez and Shannon Deacon. As Alyssa Earnshaw just tries to unlock Jalisha Singh.
Definitely important for both teams just to stay calm and keep composed when they do play and give those good passes and not just chuck them away, which we've seen a little bit of today. Don't know if it's the early morning start or, you know, the middle jitters. So.
Yeah, it is. There are some scrappy periods here. So both coaches will be wanting to tidy that up into the second quarter as Gemma Jones there just links up with Mihi Pitidoi. She does well to earn the free hit and takes that quickly. She does have Jones with the ball on the entry there for the Barbarians. And Gemma Jones does well there to roll the ball onto the foot of the Indian defender, and they will get another opportunity at the set piece here. They've had one penalty corner so far, and it was a little untidy, the ball just not coming to where they wanted at the top, so they'll want better execution here. Coach Hiru Patel be expecting they be more clinical at the penalty corner. They've got just the single bracket again. That's Jess Jones up on the top bracket. Yeah, Jones just gets that one a little bit too high there. You can see her trying to get a little bobble on the stick, but a little bobble on the ball, but has lifted it too high there for first shot at the penalty corner. And the Indians dodge another one there, Cedal.
Yes, definitely. You can definitely tell their defensive PCs have gotten stronger too, with their defence and their keeper. But yeah, it's just maintaining and getting that ball going out and getting it out and not giving it away is key as well.
Yeah, that's it. It's important their exit plans are executed. They want strong exits as opposed to just giving it back to the Heritage Barbarian side. And Shannon Deacon there doing enough to earn the sideline hit for the Indians. She's got Alyssa Earnshaw in behind her, but will look to go forward. Another attempted overhead, just doesn't quite have its intended execution, and Rosie Gonzalez again trying to take things quickly. This is Gonzalez on the ball here. She's got the ball on a reverse stick, and it's a lovely entry. Jess Jones attempting to just deflect that ball goalward, but it will roll onto the foot there of the Indian defender. And with just under 7 minutes to go here, the Heritage Barbarians will have their third penalty corner, as we see. So nice little forward pass here by Chelsea Heppy. Gets Rosie Gonzalez in space, and it's a well-executed skill there. Unfortunate for young Jamie Webber for the Indians. And she's got caught in the wrong spot at the wrong time, but looks like Hohepa has stepped up onto the bracket here for the Heritage Barbarians.
Great save.
Good solid left boot save there by Michelle Mahoney in goal for the Indians. But they're not out of danger just yet, as the Heritage Barbarians do well here and they work through a few of the Māori contingent in this Heritage Barbarian side, with Hepi, Hohepa and Pitiro linking up on the right side. Attack there earns them a penalty corner. It's the fourth one for the match. They
definitely earning their keep, these defenders.
Yep, the defenders doing tough work. This is that interplay here. Like I said, Hepi, Hohepa and Pitiroi. As the Barbarians set up for their fourth penalty corner, it will be Hohepa again at the top. That's a rather fortunate goal there to Emily Carlson on the far post for the Heritage Barbarians. It was Hohepa off the top who just put a little skip on the ball, and though the defensive lineman for the Indian women did well enough to get the first touch, she only touched it as far as the stick there of Emily Carlson for the Heritage Barbarians. So they find themselves up 1-0, finally able to convert that penalty corner pressure into scoreboard results. But the Indians look to come forward straight out of the hit-off through Misha Tately, and she's pushed herself up into the press as well.
Definitely important for them to apply that pressure onto those Heritage defenders and just get that ball back and make it a quick counter-attack.
Yeah, like we said, the team that can apply periods of pressure are going to come away here, as Emma Irwin comes forward on the ball. But Shannon Deacon does well. Shannon Deacon has Tately with her. Singh, Panchia. And it is covered up there by Tuhia Hohepa for the Heritage Barbarians. Fortunate there for them, because there were Indian players in the circle, as Hohepa continues to come forward at pace. Another one way to mitigate a good press there, Settlers to earn a free hit and go forward quickly,
Absolutely.
Not allowing them to set up.
Which I think was what was quite key in that last PC where they scored that goal, was taking that early ball and linking up with the players that were unmarked, which helped them drive the ball into the circle. And
this is one of those players, Pitiroi. She links up going forward there with the goal scorer, Emily Carlson. But Shannon Deacon does well again. Emma Irwin finds Gemma Jones open in the circle. Good save there by Mahoney and goal for the Indians. It was a lovely transfer ball there. Emma Irwin finding Gemma Jones in the circle for the Barbarians. This is Trinell Woods-Edaweda under some pressure from Jilisha Singh. Hops onto the reverse stick, but nobody there linking up with in the circle for the Barbarians. So the Indians will come forward through the 16-yard hit. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Settle. In a game that's probably going to be dominated by who presses well, the key to unlocking that press break is going at pace. And I know that's tough on day 4 to try and get things going quickly, but if teams aren't able to do that and presses are able to set, you can see the effectiveness of them already.
Absolutely.
Oh, got a loud whistle there. Down the end of Carlette Human. She's sent Karishma Kumar, I think, over for a spell.
Yep. For a moment there, I thought it was Manisha. She was in that area, but
I had a catch up with Manisha yesterday afternoon, and she was stoked to have her first game without a card here at Heritage Hockey this weekend.
goals right there.
Yeah, you can see a lot of pressure being built here by the Heritage Barbarians. Relentless waves of attack, and this is an opportunity there for Emily Carlson to double her goal scoring tally, but it just goes past the far post there of the Indians, and they will breathe a sigh of relief.
That's that early ball that we were talking about. If you take it quickly, you're able to move the ball up the field a lot faster, and it just allows them to set that high screen.
Yeah, it didn't link up with a player there, but just the ability to break out of the press just gives them an opportunity, like you said here, to put a press on of their own as Jalisha Singh comes into the picture here. Chelsea Hippie does really well there just to open up the sideline. Yeah. Yeah, and we go back down the other end, and you can hear the Heritage Barbarians imploring to get up. Alicia Donovan there directing the shape of her troops. Excellent leadership up the front there by Alicia Donovan. She's only 19 and in a team that's just been pulled together for the tournament. Here comes Manisha Jerem with the ball. Unfortunately, Jamie Webber just can't pull that one in for the Indian side because there was some momentum building on the opposite side of the field. Yeah, but the Barbarians will come forward. This is Gemma Jones on the ball, just turns around Gurleen Gillen, has a good turn of pace if she can link up with Emma Irwin in the midfield. Does enough for the free hit, and Donovan on the ball now for the Barbarians. Just trying to work around Rebecca Massey. Action from the long corner for the Barbarians. It's Adana Tamati doing well to break through the second defender. But Massey tidies up with the help of Jalisha Singh, who is back doing some defensive work for the Indians. And only get as far as halfway. Transfer ball through Trinell Woods. Edueta finds Chelsea Heppy on the right side of the field. Great touch there by Donovan. And tidy clearance to the 25 by Michelle Mahoney. Well done. The Indians there just wearing that last bit of pressure. The Heritage Barbarians side on top 1-0 thanks to a goal from penalty corner to Emily Carlson. But this Indian side have been resolute in their defensive work settle. They've had a lot of it to do in this first quarter. I thought they started well in the high press, but this Heritage Barbarian side really building pressure through the back end of that quarter.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this this Heritage Barbarians team are wanting to redeem themselves after yesterday's hard loss. It's definitely important for the Indians team to keep building from what they did yesterday. Just making sure that they're doing this, playing smart hockey and using the players that they do have. They're starting to look for those long balls, which sometimes they do pay off, sometimes not so much when you're just passing it down to the other end. So yeah, they definitely have to utilise their players in the middle a bit more and just link up with each other.
Yeah, one thing that will please Coach Hiru Patel for the Barbarians is they are getting outcomes in the circle. The Heritage Barbarians, though they are not on the scoreboard yet, they've had 4 penalty corners, have scored from one of them. As you can see, a lot of pressure building on this Indian women's side. The Indians, like I said, will have to play out of the back quickly after to break through the press of this Barbarians. It is 4th day of tournament, and I'm not sure the legs will be able to keep up 3 more quarters of this relentless effort from the Barbarians, so the Indians are going to have to be smart in picking their times when they choose to go forward, and it's going to be the likes of Manisha Tatley and Shannon Deacon and Manisha Jerem working forward in the midfield to support the work of their strikers if they're going to put some pressure on this Heritage Barbarian side. As teams come out here into second quarter action, it's the Indians again with first use of the ball. Jalisha Singh, Shaleo Jana Verbeek and Anjali Panchia up the front with her. Looks like they've got Tatley, Jerem and Phillips in the midfield. And it is Tatley to go over, put some pressure on this defensive group. And here are the Indians swarming. This is Jana Verbeek. Unfortunately, they're unable to bring that one under control, and Jess Weck will come away for the Barbarians through Irana Tamati. Well intercepted there by Manisha Jerem. She's found herself in good spots today, and here she is going forward with some stick skill. Links up there with Verbeek. And again, it is Weck just getting to the 50-50 ball first. Does enough there to settle things down for her side. It's Tamati onto the ball. Gonzalez in front of her. She's got Gemma Jones up the line, but Verbeek does well there on the first attempt. And that's Manisha Jerem just putting down the long barrier.
There's one way to slow down the play.
Yeah, there might not be many ways to stop Rosa Gonzalez, but that's certainly one of them.
I must say, as a defender, anyway, to slow down one of those fast attackers, you just do it.
Yeah, here is Jess Weck on the ball. And she's got Hohepa. Attempting to link up there with Sam Barrable, but just too far in front of her, especially on that left-hand side of the field. It's a tough ask to chase down one of those. So the Indians will come out of the back here with Gurleen Gill on the ball. It's well worked out there by Tatley and by Phillips. They've got Anjali Panchia coming forward with the ball.
Just out of the reach of Misha.
Yeah, I'd like to see these Indian strikers just coming back towards the ball there. You can see 2 or 3 times in a row here they've got that midfield breach, but it's easily intercepted by the Heritage Barbarians when they only need to step forward onto the ball. And this is Alicia Donovan getting on the outside of Rebecca Massey. Relentless work there by Donovan. She's done well to earn the free hit. Just being asked to take it from where the infringement occurred. Alicia Donovan set up here for the Heritage Barbarians. Takes the same option she will have otherwise, and Jess Jones gets a lovely little touch there to save the ball off the baseline. But the second shot there just going wide off the goal, and the Indians will come forward through Shannon Deacon. Miss Deacon, as we can see what she's looking for up through the midfield. She'd want her midfielders to be a little more active to give them first ball instead of going to the wing halves, because here is Gemma Jones coming forward with the ball. Gemma Jones has Gonzalez there nice and close, as well as Donovan. Manisha Jerem just disrupting that play there, and Donovan will roll the ball back up to Irana Tamati for the long corner. And this is Tamati opening up the other side of the field through Jessica Weck. And here's Rosa Gonzalez on broken play where she's so dangerous. Trying to link up with Murphy Phillips, but Lissa Earnshaw does well there in her defensive work for the Indian side. You know, Settle, we talked yesterday about some of the struggles in the Indian tournaments and communities about getting more and more women playing, and having to call on some of these guest players in Deacon and Earnshaw and along to help the side. It does create opportunities for a team in this tournament, though, for more and more Indians if we can get them involved.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good. This is a good platform for young girls to see that, hey, look, I can play, and it's a real good opportunity for these young ones to look up to the older ones as well. Yeah,
and I know the Indian Sports Association doing a lot of work in trying to grow the game for, especially for Indian women, and the junior tournament traditionally under 23s, was given the fast fives option this year, which just creates an easier entry to hockey for smaller groups or smaller pockets of people around the country. So, you know, for any of our young Indian players out there that are looking at the next level, absolutely link up with your local Indian sports club. And if it's not QBT tournament, which is the big one, obviously, in June in Christchurch, there is the under-23s option there through the Fast Fives format, which can create a real pathway into this New Zealand Indian women's side.
Absolutely, it's been awesome them introducing it for the last couple of years. It just allows, you know, the clubs to be able to get teams together, especially when you don't have enough players. So it's been really awesome.
And here's Jalisha Singh coming forward with the ball. She's got the pace on Jess Weck if she can use it, and the execution just lets her down there, and she'll be disappointed in that as Anjali Panchia just not Panchia, and
Krishna Kumar.
That's Krishna Kumar then stepped up, just slows the ball down and allows Jalisha Singh to get back up into their press.
Like you said earlier, the Indian strikers do need to come forward to meet the ball. Just allows them to get in front of those, the heritage defenders. Yeah,
the Barbarian defenders are a good physical bunch. You've got the likes of Rana Tamati, Chelsea Hepi, Tuhio Hohepa, who are good, strong defenders of the ball, and it's not often that they miss a trap. So this Indian side are going to have to come and get into that contest rather than hope that it gets through.
Absolutely.
There's Alyssa Earnshaw here for the Indians. She's not got a lot of space, but she's got a lot of skill as she comes forward here. Just a little too far off the stick, but Chelsea Hepi will turn the ball back over, and it's Earnshaw coming forward again, trying to link up there with Jana Verbeek. Here is Earnshaw again. She's fallen back into her more comfortable position at the back. Shannon Deacon just making a breach there. Links up with Shanae Phillips, who wears off the pressure of Rosie Gonzalez, at least for the first time. Unfortunate there for Phillips. Will turn the ball over, and Emma Irwin comes forward. Fortunate touch there from Manisha Jerem. Just rolls the ball onto the foot there of Rebecca Crump. The Barbarians will have ball at the back here. Trinell Woods-Edaweda has Chelsea Hepi. Well, that one's got a little bit of a skip on it. As we come into the final 10 minutes of this second quarter, it is still the Barbarians up 1-0 over the New Zealand Indians. This is the game for the bronze medal here at the women's draw of New Zealand Heritage Hockey. It's the Barbarians that have had the share of the possession and territory as they link up. This is Rebecca Crump. Good work there by Rebecca Massey to come and intercept that play. And Misha Tatley opting just to get the ball down the other end of the field. This Indian side will attempt to put another press on as they're out there now with Sukhdeep Kaur, Jana Verbeek. And that's Misha Tatley pushing up into the second layer of the press, but unable to get past the electric of Rosie Gonzalez. Gonzalez links up, coming forward up this right-hand side. Rebecca Massey doing a good job again, intercepting the play as Mihi Pitiroi gets nice and low to the ground. Massey again just tidying up for the Indians, and Shannon Deacon will roll the ball back out to Alyssa Earnshaw. Yeah, Shanae Phillips does a good job there before finding the sub there of Anjali Panchia, who's just come back onto the field. It's Alicia Patel with the ball there for the Indians, and she links up with Panchia. Unfortunate there, and Gemma Jones will come away, come off the free hit and call Chelsea Hepi up onto the ball. You can hear Misha Tatley just shaping up the press of the Indians, trying to keep the ball on one side of the field if they can, and they've done well there through Gurleen Gill. But she gives the ball straight back to the Barbarians, and Alicia Donovan just can't quite keep the ball in the field of play down that sideline there. Gill will be disappointed in that one because the nice touch pass from Misha Tately did open her up into a little bit of space. Cedal, you can see a real change here where Alyssa Earnshaw has pushed up into the midfield. I think between Tately, Earnshaw and Deacon, they all take turns at pushing up, which is good for the legs when not one person expected to do all that work. So
absolutely,
they'll perhaps be able to continue this effort for long periods of the game.
Yes, and it definitely allows, I guess, that different style of player and how they handle the ball. Just confused the Heritage Barbarians side as well.
Yeah, Gemma Jones does well there to link up with Anika Rudbean. It's Alicia Donovan on the ball. And Michelle Mahoney does well just to turn that shot away, but Donovan again making things happen for this Heritage Barbarian side. And it's Petito who gives away the free hit to the Indians, who will have Shannon Deacon on the ball here. You can see the Heritage Barbarians really putting numbers on that side of the field. The Indians opting to look on the other side. This is Alyssa Earnshaw. Rebecca Massey does well enough just to roll the ball down the sideline there for the Indians. Some good work in there. Earns them the free hit. Jamie Webber will come onto the ball for the Indians. She's got Anjali Panchia there with her and Misha Tately in the middle of the field. You're just not able to link up there with Sukhdeep Kaur. Chelsea Heppy will come out with the ball. She's got a good long ball. Links up with Gemma Jones. Gemma Jones turns inside Panchia, but it's Deacon. And Emma Irwin does well there. And here are the Indians with ball at the back again. This is Earnshaw on the ball. She's got Deacon and Patel on the outside, one more. Here Alicia Donovan comes in hunting for the turnover. Alicia Patel under a bit of pressure. And two Alicia's there from either side. Donovan does well to win the free hit. And Shannon Deacon, as she has done so well, just cleans up for the Indians and unlocks Alicia Patel there going forward, who's got Gurleen Gill with her eyes up. She's linked again here. Krishma Kumar gets the ball back to Gurleen Gill, and that's a lovely transfer of play there through Anjali Panchia. Gemma Jones comes in and just takes that one away. She's got players in motion going forward. As mentioned earlier, it's Shannon Deacon again with a great turnover for the Indians, and Panchia will be disappointed with the execution of that, but it has paid off here as Jana Verbeek comes forward for the Indians, trying to link up with Jalisha Singh, but Arana Tamati breaks that up, and Jalisha's worked well to get it back here for the Indians. Just gets inside the circle there as the defenders for the Barbarians do enough to get the ball out over the back line.
It was unfortunate they were had the ball turned over just before, but that link of play going up and switching it around, that's what will be key for this Indians team, to be able to just have that chance and getting into the goal and trying to score as well. Yeah,
there were 3 or 4 passes all up this left-hand side of the field, and then a transfer across to the right side, which it's the first time we've really seen that succession of passes for the Indians today. As the Barbarians come out, she's got Alicia Donovan just trying to roll the ball into some space and make a foot race of Alyssa Earnshaw, but the ball will beat all of them over the sideline. Earnshaw on the ball here for the Indian side. He wants a player to come a little closer to help out, and here comes Misha Tately in that role. Earnshaw unable to get over the stick there of Jones, and there's some players in the middle of the field here for the Barbarians, but Shannon Deacon does the first job well, unable to clear successfully. The Barbarians will get another go of it here through Rudbean. And Earnshaw steps into the ball, and Krishma Kumar trying to outrun Alicia Donovan there is never an easy feat.
No.
Will be Misha Tately bringing herself onto the ball here. She does have the overhead ability to relieve a little bit of pressure. does fall there, touched by Chelsea Hepi out to Trinell Woods-Edaweda. Has it Anna Tamati, but she's got Jalisha Singh putting pressure on. And it is good pressure for the Indians, and they win the free hit. If they can go quickly, the Barbarians aren't back in defence. But Anna Tamati does really well there. But it's Jana Verbeek, who scored an excellent goal on day 2 of Heritage Hockey Tournament. Just unable to pull that one in, and with a little over 2 minutes to play here, the Indians are fired up for this last 2. If they can go into the break here at level scores, they will be absolutely stoked with their first half. This is Woods-Edaweda, and she's got Emma Irwin going forward. Emma Irwin with a lovely pass up there for the Barbarians. This is Irwin again linking up with Hohepa. Hohepa's got Rudbean going forward, and she's got Alicia Donovan one more if she can find her, and there's an entry for Alicia Donovan, unable to be pulled under control on the baseline there. It's those passages of passing play, Cedal, the difference so far. We've seen maybe one of them for the Indians, but a number of them for the Heritage Barbarians.
Absolutely, that's the key difference here today. It's just linking up with your players and letting the ball do the work as well. It saves your legs, and especially, you know, four games in 4 days, it's asking a lot.
Yeah, and that's Gurleen Gill there, just under the pressure of Anika Rudbean, but Alicia Donovan wins the ball back and will turn around Alicia Patel. Goes forward quickly at Gurleen Gill and earns herself another free hit. She's plugged in this corner a little bit, the Heritage Barbarians. They'll want to come out of here if they can. Yeah, and just too many numbers for the Indians, but this sets off Jalisha Singh, and she is got a ton of pace. She's just going across the field at the moment, trying to allow some of her attackers to get ahead of her and link up. That is Shannon Deacon. There's the ball back to Jalisha Singh. There's numbers in the circle for the Indians. Alicia Donovan does well there just to slow that down, but it's Deacon here with the ball. Only moments before the break. It will be ball for the Indians if they can go down and get it quickly, but I say the clock will beat all of them as Manisha Jerem rolls down to pick the ball up for probably nobody other than the umpires. And that hooter does bring curtains on the first half of the women's bronze medal match. It is 1-0 to the Heritage Barbarians through a penalty corner in the first quarter. They did earn themselves 4 penalty corners in that first quarter, but no more coming in the second. It was a bit of a ping-pong affair there in the second quarter. The Indians improved again, and like they've shown almost every game that they've played, they do improve as the game goes on. But not ever really troubling the goal of Kalia Norton just yet.
No, she hasn't actually had to do much today.
Yeah, and speaking of goalkeepers, Michelle Mahoney's done really well. She's had a lot sent her way. We mentioned the Indians under a fair bit of pressure over these first 2 quarters, and it's work from the likes here of Gonzalez, Murphy Phillips, Alicia Donovan, Jess and Gemma Jones, Emily Carlson all coming forward for the Heritage Barbarians. That has forced Mahoney into a fair bit of work. She's been equal to most of it. It was just a fortunate touch on the far post on a penalty corner that has beaten her. This is another one that she's done well to boot away. Good performance from a goalkeeper can really inspire a team. Can't it, Cedal? You'll know, playing a fair bit of hockey yourself, how a couple of really good saves can turn a game on its head. Oh,
absolutely. It just gives you that extra energy that you didn't know if you had it, but it just boosts you up.
Yeah, and though they don't get up and down the field, obviously the goalkeepers, they can be influential in their own right when they execute their core skills well. And I spoke earlier in the call about Kalia Norton. Unfortunately, we haven't seen her skills on show yet this game, as you can see Super Coach Suresh Wallab there just talking through some plans there with his Indian women's side. And here's some of the first quarter highlights, and again it is Mahoney getting in front of the goal there for the Indians. The other one I was really impressed with, Cedal, was Shannon Deacon.
Absolutely.
A lot of time there. She's been the catalyst of breaking down the play when the Heritage Barbarians get rolling forward at pace, and she's been a lifesaver here for this Indian women's side.
She's definitely been cleaning up a lot today, and just her composure and stuff on the ball as well, just to be able to hold and then look up and get that release going, which is good to see.
Yeah, this was lovely interplay here by the Indian woman, the Heritage Barbarian women's side that did result in the penalty corner that scored the goal. It was Hepi, Hohepa and Pitiroi, a few of the Māori contingent in this Heritage Barbarian side, which linked up for that one. This is the goal here. Just check out Emily Carlson on the far post. It is Deacon just unable to bring under control the bouncing one, and it falls there to Carlson. Gemma Jones here on the ball has been good for the Barbarians. She's quite often found herself pushing through the midfield and linking up with the strikers. Easily noticeable, the two Joneses. Yellow stick is Gemma and the green stick is Jess. But a lot of pressure, as you can see from these first and second quarter highlights. The Heritage Barbarian women coming forward with waves of attack, but as they've done so well all tournament, the Indian women's doing a lot of damage control. There's work of Alyssa Earnshaw and Misha Tatley, and the work in goal there of Michelle Mahoney. Been fantastic for the Indians, and special shout out to everybody's friendly friend and neighbour Ned down there from Planet Hockey, doing an awesome job catching the action from today's games. And we've got a lot of fantastic photographers here over the weekend. If you check out Kim Wihare Pics, TJW Photos and Planet Hockey, there's a lot of great action shots from the weekend. And speaking of, we've got some fantastic sponsors that put all of this together. Obviously, we've got the fantastic Heritage Hockey Committee and all of the work that they do to provide this platform and opportunity for our Indian, Pacifica, Māori and our Heritage players. But it's through the work of the likes of One Foundation, MTEL, Barna Family Farms, Onyx Sportswear, Go Hockey, Blackwood Legal, Keep Alive and Mama's Kitchen, that we're able to put this awesome event on. And it's continued support of our hockey community, which continues to provide for our players. And the players are doing their part in creating the spectacle that is fantastic games of hockey. We've had penalty shootouts, strokes, draws. We've had absolutely everything. Comeback wins, comeback draws, anything you could want in a tournament. And so far there's no rain here either. So it's been a fantastic weekend. Yeah, we'll touch wood on the no rain. It's been an excellent weekend down here at Komar Sports Centre in Papatoetoe as we see the teams come back out for second half action here. It's the Heritage Barbarians with use of the ball, and they also have the lead 1-0 thanks to that penalty corner goal of Emily Carlson. And we will see first action here for Mia Walab in goal for the Indians. She will get her time on the field here. Don't expect her to listen to anything that the coach has said this morning. See Barbarians here with the ball. That is Emily Carlson, just doing enough there to keep possession for the Barbarians. There's the Barbarians in the white strip with possession and the Indians in their black strip. This is Jessica Weck on the ball for the Barbarians. She's trying to link up there with Pitiroi, but unable to pull it in under control. We'll give the ball back to the Indians. Settle, there were periods in there where it got a little bit scrappy. Both sides probably showing the signs of fatigue that does come with day 4 of a tournament, but the Indians dealt with the pressure really well, and if they can just get their one goal, they will create a really exciting game here. Absolutely,
yeah. All it takes is just that one goal to just boost up the energy of everyone, and it just changes the dynamic that has been played.
Yeah, this is Gemma Jones, and it fortunately links up there with Pitiroi, but Alyssa Earnshaw equal to the task there in goal. She's an absolute workhorse, Alyssa Earnshaw. She does her job there well, riding out the defensive efforts of the Heritage Barbarians, and it will be Gurleen Gill here on the ball for the Indian women. Heritage Barbarians starting in a high press already. They've got 3 right around the ball. Gurleen Gill, on the instruction of Misha Tatley to use her skills, does exactly that, but only gets as far as Gemma Jones and Emma Irwin linking up with Jess Jones, finds Mihi Pitiroi. Another fantastic work there of Shannon Deacon. It's Gonzalez coming forward at pace with the ball. Don't know if anybody knew whose free hit that was, but she keeps going. Gonzalez. Here comes Jalisha Singh out of the back end for the Indians. She does well at holding the ball up and just waiting for her players to continue moving forward. She links there with Anjali Panchia. And here goes Jana Verbeek at pace up for the Indians. Physical tussle there between Tuhia Hoheper and Jana Verbeek. Shoulder to shoulder, I thought. I mean, it's desperation hockey, and that's just what you do when you're down on the scoreboard. I like the effort, and the effort is what will please Coach Suresh Wallab. She will earn herself a 2-minute break here as the Heritage Barbarians break out no further than, of course, it's Shannon Deacon again. Yeah, I mean, she's got the card for it there, Jana Verbeek, but look, as a player on her team or a coach in her dugout, you expect nothing less than that effort.
Absolutely, yeah.
Petiroy does well here to turn her defender around. And it's enough. It's the second shot there to Gemma Jones, which will find the back of the net past the outstretched arm there of Mia Wallab, as she did well to save the first shot by Petiroy. As we see the action here, it's Gemma Jones just releasing the ball forward, finds Petiroy with a lovely bit of skill here to turn Girling Gill around. And it's a great save here by Wallab, but this one-time shot with the wrists open by Gemma Jones doubles the lead here for the Heritage Barbarians early in the third quarter. And she's done so well there, has Mia Wallab, to make that first save.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just left there was a couple of free players at the top of the circle, which unfortunately was that nail in the coffin to get with that shot on goal.
Yeah, and you can see the Heritage Barbarians have really gained some confidence from this, but the Indians do well enough just to link through the midfield there with Weber and Phillips, but Hairpiece steps in front for the Barbarians and linking up again with Petiroy. They'll continue with ball going forward down the right-hand side. So it's goals to Carlson and Jones here for the Heritage Barbarians. Nothing on the board yet for the Indians, and they've got a tall mountain to climb now to get back into this match. But as we've seen so often over this weekend, Seattle, 2 goals can happen very quickly when teams get everything right. It's
been end-to-end hockey this weekend, so you never know until that final whistle in that last quarter.
Yeah, the Indians here just happy to condense the midfield and not allow players like Rosie Gonzalez and Emily Carlson to break forward, but this is a great entry here. Finds Petiroy in the circle, and it's a fantastic finish there by Mihi Petiroy. Ball in there has just gone past the stick of Emily Carlson, and it finds Mihi Petiroy as we watch the replay here. It's a fantastic ball through by Sam Barable. She was linking up with Carlson, but it's found its way all the way through to Petiroy. Mia Wallab does her best to get out and confront that one, but it does slip down the left boot and will extend the lead here for the Barbarians out to 3. We talked about when it rains it pours, doesn't it, Seedle? Often yeah. One goal is followed up by a second.
Absolutely, and it'll be very important for the Indian ladies just to keep their heads up high and just maintain the hockey that they've been playing all weekend and building on. They definitely have it in them. They just need to, be able to just keep going and not give up.
Yeah, and this is the Indians coming forward here up the left-hand side, unable to get any further than the stick of Rebecca Crump on the intercept there for the Barbarians, but they still have possession. And this is Rebecca Crump breaking out for the Barbarians, and it's a great intercept there by Manisha Jerem. She'll be trying to unlock her strikers. Manisha Jerem just doing well there to win the free hit under the tackle of Nika Rudbean, and she pulls Shannon Deacon onto the ball to get troops forward up the field. Girling Gill just recycling through Alyssa Earnshaw. Rebecca Massey just turns the ball over. It's good pressure there by Alicia Donovan. She's got Rosie Gonzalez behind her. Donovan, Phillips and Carlson up the front at the moment for the Barbarians. This is Donovan just turning around Earnshaw. Murphy Phillips with 2 opportunities, and she makes the second one. Murphy Phillips with the goal there for the Heritage Barbarians, and it's her second of the weekend. Just getting nice and low as we see the work here from Alicia Donovan just to get the ball going across the front of goal. Does bobble up off the foot originally of Shannon Deacon, and 2 opportunities there for Phillips. The second one is the one that goes past the back line there, and that it's been a fast quarter here for the Barbarians. They've scored 3 in this third quarter, and they are up 4-0 here in the women's bronze medal match between the Heritage Barbarians and the New Zealand Indian women. And this is the goal scorer, Murphy Phillips, working across the field, linking up there with her captain, Rosa Gonzalez. You can see how quickly these games can turn. Cedar, we can be locked up in an arm wrestle for long periods of the game, and as has happened so often, goals can happen very quickly here.
Yep, definitely. Once the floodgates open.
Yeah, and the Indian women just content to sit just above the half-court press, trying to condense ball through the middle of the park. One player that won't give up and won't stop running there, of course, is Jalisha Singh. Good physical challenge there by Alyssa Earnshaw. That's what you like to see. This is Trinell Woods-Edaweda coming out the back there for the Heritage Barbarians. She links up with Anika Rudbean. And Gemma Jones, who's been good today. Lovely transfer of passing, and that's those sequences of passes we spoke about earlier in the call as Alicia Donovan pulls the ball in here, trying to get on the outside of Rebecca Massey, but Shanae Phillips brings the ball under control as far as the sideline. Cedar, that's been the real difference right from the start of this game, hasn't it, is this Heritage Barbarians women's improved ability to keep the ball moving, link up passes, get numbers around the ball, and attack with numbers.
Absolutely, yeah, that has been the key difference, and even just the play, building it and playing it around in the with their back four. That's really
here comes Singh. She's going fast. She's going forward at pace. She might need to do it all herself. Just unable there, Jana Verbeek to outstretch in front of the goal there of Kalia Norton. We saw Verbeek score a goal at distance in front of the goal like that on day 2. Just unable to get ahead of the player, Jalisha Singh, which is a tough ask when Singh does come forward so quickly with the ball.
Absolutely, it just turns real quickly.
But as mentioned, that's the sort of flair and speed that this Indian women's side do possess when they can unlock ball going forward. And here comes Manishi Jerem. That's under the physical challenge there of Jess Jones. Jerem will have the free hit just outside the 25-yard line. There's a nice little lead on the inside there by Anjali Panchier that the ball wasn't thrown forward through. The Indians here are at the right end of the field. They don't have possession, but if they can set their presses and get into good intercept spaces, will create opportunities.
You can definitely tell the game has spread out a bit more, opening up those gaps for those players to lead into.
Yeah, both sides will have to be careful here of that game opening up, because like we said, both teams can score goals, and though the Indians haven't put any on the board yet, we've seen what happens when they do get one. They come forward quickly, and speaking of quickly, here's Alicia Donovan. Just unable to link up there with Jess Jones. Alicia Donovan walks up and joins the strike line. And here's a good turnover by the Heritage Barbarians. Murphy Phillips onto the edge of that. And it was just the body positioning there of Alyssa Earnshaw taking away the opportunity for Murphy Phillips to come forward with the ball. But you could see there the numbers around the ball that we just spoke about for the Heritage Barbarians. Gemma Jones will do well to pull the ball out here after she did, I think, get her fingers crunched in that last exchange. She is going to go down and take the penalty corner. for the Barbarians. She will do her best, no doubt, and it's Hohepa up the top there for the Barbarians. A good second running defence there by Jamie Webber for the Indians. Just turns Hohepa's shot away. It was a good drag around the first run line of Shannon Deacon. But the Heritage Barbarians stay on attack here. And the ball beats both Jess Jones and Tuhia Hohepa across the middle of the circle there. Not out of danger just yet, the Indians, as Alicia Donovan sets herself right up in the press. On comes Pitiroy to add to the pressure. Here's Donovan running a good split line. She's done well here, Donovan. Deacon's going to be in some trouble. Emma Irwin links up with Gemma Jones. And Manisha Jerem does fantastically well there to come and break all of that up, because the Barbarians were linking well there across this side of the field. As we work into the final 4 minutes of this third quarter. It's been a deadly third quarter for the Heritage Barbarians. That'll please Coach Hitu, as Hohepa just dribbles into that long barrier again there of Manisha Jerem. And Anjali does well there for the Indians. 2 efforts in a row, linking up now with Jalisha Singh if she can pull it in, but they'll keep possession, the Indians, and they'll move up the field. They'll call Rebecca Massey onto the ball here. And as we see the crowd starting to grow here, we can see the Indian men arriving for their next up bronze medal match. And they will come off a tough defeat yesterday at the hands of the Pacifica men, but we'll have everything to get up for today, as we see the Heritage Barbarians winning possession over there through the first goal scorer, Emily Carlson. She links up with Irana Tamati. This is Carlson again. She's unlocked Rosie Gonzalez, who has Pitiroy ahead, and Gemma Jones streaming through the middle of the field. Melissa Earnshaw just does well there to break with this all up. It'll be a big game coming up here, Seedle, for the Indian boys. They won't want to dwell too much on yesterday's game. The result was what it was, and they find themselves playing for bronze this morning. They'll want to get up early.
Yeah, and it is a young team, you know, losing the likes of Kelly and Jerem and Xavier Guy. This young team has got a lot to build on, and they've got it there. They just, got to work on it, but there's no doubt that they'll be able to do it.
Both these Indian sides featuring a lot of youth, which is exciting as we look to grow this brand of heritage hockey, and each of the identities as themselves look to continue to grow. You know, the Māoris, Pacifica and Indians will want to grow from the ground up. It's a good, strong contingent of youth here for both sides as they both look to build a strong program that can continue for years.
Absolutely.
This is Gemma Jones turning an awesome bit of skill there on the outside of Manisha Jerem. Gemma Jones has been fantastic today for the Heritage Barbarians. She's really sparked the link between the midfielders. We see her on the ball here with the yellow stick, just keeping the ball in a good dribbling position out on her reverse stick, and she does everything she needs to win the penalty corner, and it will be the Heritage Barbarian women's. I think Gemma Jones is not too interested in pulling that ball out this time, and she's still wearing that injury a little bit, so it will be Carlson down here to pull the ball out. Hohepa at the top. It's a ping-pong match in front of the goal, but the Indians are the ones to win it, and they come away here. Breakout hockey with Manisha Jerem. She needs to get her eyes up and link up there with as Anjali Panchia has Jalisha Singh and Jana Verbeek in front of her. This is Singh. Fantastic defensive covering tackle there by Irana Tamati, who does really, really well there for the Heritage Barbarians. And I'd say Anjali Panchia is about to go down and sit on the seat that is so familiarly sat in by her brothers here at Southern Districts.
Add her name to it too.
Yeah, it's hard to not there when you've had such a good looking breakout. Everything's gone there, and it's a fantastic tackle by Tamati that breaks it up to as she tries to take it quickly. It's hard not to dangle the stick in there, isn't it, Seedle?
Absolutely.
As that'll bring the third quarter to a close there. Yeah, Anjali Panchia just guilty of being overcommitted to the play, past the whistle of Carlet Human down there at the car park end, and it is the end of the third quarter. As I mentioned, a third quarter that was so damaging for the Heritage Barbarians. As we check out some of the highlights, there was a crash and tumble between Verbeek and Hohepa there. But it was all Heritage Barbarians for the middle part of this quarter, and Pitiroi did fantastic work here. Good first up save by Mia Wallab, but Gemma Jones, who I mentioned has been awesome today, puts that one in on the one-time shot. And here's another one that goes through to Pitiroi. She's found herself in all the action today, and she will find herself on the goal scorer sheet with that reverse stick effort. The scoring wasn't finished there for the Barbarians in this quarter. It was Alicia Donovan on the initial drive, and some scrappy little play in front of the goal finds Murphy Phillips, adding to her goal scoring tally and adding to the damage of the Barbarians. But the Indians were valiant in their efforts, and a lot of it was on the back of Jalisha Singh, who we've seen here try all weekend, unable to link up with Verbeek in front of goal for the Indians, and she had a number of those long range efforts. Indian defence equal to a lot here. They had to weather the storm again in this third quarter, like they did in the first, but it was just too much Barbarians in that quarter. Seedle, they were really good, the Heritage Barbarians.
Absolutely, yeah. They as soon as they got that second one in, they were just away, and the floodgates opened. So it's about maintaining the composure for the Indians team and just keeping their heads up high and just playing that good hockey that we've seen over this weekend. And just working together as a team.
Yeah, it's they've got a quarter of hockey left to go here, and though the game may now be a little too far out of reach for the win, they'll still want to end on some positive notes.
Absolutely.
They'll want to finish this campaign strong. They have been big improvers of the weekend. They won't want to go fall off here for this last 17 minutes. Here come the Indians, a little back and forth here to start the quarter. The Heritage Barbarian women will come out of their own end through Arana Tamati. As we see ball transferred around the back, this is Sam Barrable for Barbarians. Unfortunate bounce there, does set it Krishma Kumar away for the Indians. As the free hit will be taken up the top there by Misha Tately. We've got a special shout out going across to a couple of the boys over in Europe, Joey Holm and Brad Coxon, who are doing some awesome things over there with hockey. Exciting stuff for them, getting overseas after a couple of years back here in New Zealand. Had spent some time over in Hong Kong, so it's awesome to see them on their Europe trip. Hope the boys are watching along and enjoying the coverage here of New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament. And we can see here the Heritage Barbarians pushing forward, pushing right forward. They've pushed Tuhia Hohepa up the front again and added the fourth striker. And they've also taken Kalia Norton off the field. Her service is not employed too much in today's game, so they will finish the game here with 11 field players, which will make things really tough for the Indians. But here's an opportunity for Krishma Kumar. It has got through. Like I said, wanting to finish the weekend well. They've started the quarter well here, and it is Krishma Kumar. As the ball fell through the grasp of the defenders there to the Indian women's side.
Great use of capitalising on the small errors by the Barbarians team.
Yeah, it's good heads-up play to continue pushing. You know, it's hard to get up when you're down 4-0 and it's the last quarter of game on day 4 of the tournament. So they've done well there to just take something from this game. They'll be proud of the effort there. And if they can do it that quickly, I don't want to be the one that jinxes it and says it, but there is still 14 minutes on the clock here, and we've seen goals come very quickly all weekend at Heritage Hockey. And we know there were goals in this Indian women's side, and often when there's one, there's multiple. So the Heritage Barbarian side are going to need to continue to play well as the ball nearly falls through there to Jalisha Singh, but cleaned up by Tamati. What you can't quite see off screen here is they have kept Krishma Kumar right up the field there, the Indians. And here is Gurleen Gill if she can release. Jalisha Singh has got the ball to her. Like I said, she's got Panchia and Kumar up the field. Oops. Speaking of, Tuhia Hohepa in there for a bit of work up in the press there for the Barbarians, and the Indians come forward again. A touch there by Jessica Weck. Fortunate one, because the Indians did have players up in the circle here. Remember, the Heritage Barbarians playing so far this quarter without a goalkeeper, without the services of Kalia Norton. Here's Shannon Deacon just driving one into the circle for the Indians. And even Jalisha Singh can't quite run that one down. You can see how much difference a goal does to the confidence and the wind of a team. You know, they looked almost out of it by the end of that third quarter, the Indian women, and they've puffed the chests up again. And here comes Shannon Deacon forward for the Indians. She's got Rosie Gonzalez putting pressure on her, and it's she's done well to earn the free hit.
Definitely have found that second wind.
And here's the Indians in the circle again. This is Gurleen Gill just unable to get past the stick of Emma Irwin. Rosie Gonzalez will happily play the small free hits out of the back end there and call Irana Tamati onto the ball for the Barbarians. They'll walk their way up the field, but the Indians staying up nice and high. They've got to stay hunting here. This is Gonzalez again on the ball. Like we mentioned in the build-up, she'll sometimes be in the defensive unit, then she'll go and join the strikers, and she's everywhere on the park.
Absolutely.
Tamati just links up again there with Gonzalez. She has players ahead. And this is Emily Carlson for the Heritage Barbarians. Wears off a stick challenge there by Gurleen Gill, and she's still going, Carlson. Excellent work there by young Jamie Webber in front of goal for the Indian women. It was a strong attack there by Emily Carlson, just trying to link up with her strikers in front of goal, but Jamie Webber equal to the challenge and will keep possession for the Indians. And here's one of those ones that just finds its way through. Jana Verbeek working hard, but it's Chelsea Heppy working back there for the Heritage Barbarians, and she wins the free hit. Heritage Barbarians on the sideline hit there with Rosie Gonzalez. It's Emily Carlson bringing the ball under control, but does enough to win a free hit, and she goes quickly. Doesn't have players in the circle yet, but that one falls to Jess Jones. And Jess Jones does well enough. Was fortunate there that the ball did catch the stick of the Indian player on its way through, because there wasn't anybody in the circle for the Heritage Barbarians, but it was that delay there as we see this. Jess Jones was the only one to get there. And it's just that through the back of the stick challenge by the Indian defenders, which will concede the penalty corner for them. Heritage Barbarians with another opportunity from the set piece. They've had a number of them today. Will be Hohepa at the top. Well run there originally by Deacon, but Hohepa's gone again. And it's that scramble in front of the goal again for the Indians that they managed to clear, only as far as Heppy for the Barbarians. And this is Jess Jones coming forward with the ball. She's got Pititua on the inside and Emily Carlson across the circle. This is Carlson, has Gemma Jones on the outside, but Manisha Jerem with a strong effort there. And Emily Carlson will earn herself a short rest there. Umpires call time on the on this one, and we will see action here for Shuki Muramoto in goal for the Heritage Barbarian women's team, getting her first action of the tournament. Awesome to see the experience there of Shuku in goal. I know that in their camp she's been so influential in her expertise and advice to young Kalia Norton, who's played so well all tournament. So awesome for Shuku Muramoto to get into the goal here for the Heritage Barbarian women on the last day of play. This is Jess Jones coming forward for the Barbarians. Manisha Jeremy equal to that task and unable to link up with Jalisha Singh there for the Indians. So it's Trinell Woods Edueda to come forward with the ball for the Barbarians. He attempts a little 3D pass, but Gemma Jones does well there. Settle, it's often easy to mix up the names of Jess Jones and Gemma Jones, but it's Gemma there who's been really strong today for this Heritage Barbarian women's side.
Absolutely, yeah. She's just been solid with her attack coming forward, and even some of her defence. She's definitely been one to watch today.
It's Jess Jones putting pressure on Misha Tatley, but Tatley wins the free hit coming forward for the Indians and trying to link up there with Kumar. It will be ball to the Indians as they roll up the field. Verbeek down in the corner. Pull the ball back. It'll be Krishma Kumar there with the ball. Just asking what cafe they're going to after this game.
Yeah.
Jess Weck does well just to release ball from the back for the Barbarians. This is Anika Rudbein coming forward. She's got Alicia Donovan in front of her. Rudbein coming forward with pace, and this is Donovan. Unfortunate there for the Heritage Barbarians. They did have numbers streaming forward, but they're the ones ahead on the scoreboard, and they won't be too displeased with getting a reset free hit here through Chelsea Heppy. That's Shannon Deacon trying her absolute heart out like she has all weekend. She's been a real standout for this Indian women's side, Settle.
Absolutely.
A guest player here for the Indians this year, but I'm sure they'd have her back in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, yeah. She's both her and Alyssa have been really awesome and just solid in the defence for these Indian ladies, just and teaching these young ones as well to, with the composure on the ball, which has been quite awesome to see.
Yeah, she's through no lack of effort all weekend. Shannon Deacon, she's been really impressive and a shining light for this Indian side, who have continued to improve all weekend as Jess Jones just unable to pull the ball in there for the Heritage Barbarian women as we are inside the last 10 minutes of the bronze medal match here between the New Zealand Indians and the Heritage Barbarians. Heritage Barbarians still pushing forward in their pursuit of further attack. The Indians did find their first goal in this quarter. It was through an open goal, but every goal counts here, and it was Krishma Kumar who got her name on the scorer's sheet for the Indians. Here's Manisha Jerem just looking to transfer through Emily Carlson, but she does enough, and the pass forward from Donovan to Carlson. Shannon Deacon there again, just putting everything on the line for this Indian women's side. She doesn't give up at all. And this is Nika Rudbein and Alicia Donovan just on working in pair up there for the Heritage Barbarians. Wins the free hit past the stick of Misha Tatley. Alicia Donovan there just playing the cat and mouse with Misha Tatley and does well to pull the ball out to it. Anatamati, but both Panchia and Deacon again disrupt that play. And this is Tatley and Deacon. Only as far as Tamati and Nika Rudbein coming across the top of the circle, trying to link up with strikers, but Alyssa Earnshaw breaks that one down. It started to get a little scrappy here again, Settle.
Absolutely. That fatigue is definitely set in.
Yeah, some of these women will have played majority minutes through all 3 3/4 of a game here so far. This is Jess Jones getting a shot away. It doesn't make it to the goal, but Rebecca Crump there with the ball. Fantastic defensive work there by Alyssa Earnshaw. She, along with Shannon Deacon, have been really strong for the Indians all weekend. Rebecca Massey just rolls the ball forward to Jalisha Singh. We can't state enough how much her work on both sides of the ball has been really impressive for this Indian women's side. I spoke to her before the tournament, and she knew they had a young team coming in and she would have to lead by example, and she's done exactly that all weekend, Cedal.
Absolutely, yeah. She's always been an awesome player, not only to watch but to play with as well. She being in the same team as her, and watching her from the back of the field just running the ball up, it's something else. It's really cool and a bit humbling to watch from the back.
Yeah, and here comes the Heritage Barbarians. That's entry there by Emma Irwin. The Indians try and come out quickly, but it's not able to be taken in there by Sukhdeep Kaur. So Rana Tamati and Jess Weck with ball at the back for the Heritage Barbarians. It's Jess Weck again on the ball here. She's got Chelsea Heppy on the left if she wants her, and Tuhia Hohepa will fall out to give them 4 at the back. The Indians are just waiting for that pass that they can pounce on, and here might be the one. Tamati does well there. And she does really well. She'll just sit on the free hit for a second and roll it back to her teammates. There's some pressure coming forward here by Krishma Kumar, the goal scorer from earlier for the Indians, but Jess Weck does well, and Tuhia Hohepa thought she still had Chelsea Heppy there on the left side, but she'd moved her way up the field.
Great cross ball. Oh, unlucky.
Great transfer there by Shannon Deakins. Eyes up play, but just unable to be pulled in by Alicia Patel on the left side of the field. This is the Barbarians in the final moments of the game here. We've got 2.5 minutes left to play in this first match of day 1 here of the Heritage Hockey Finals Day. Remember, we've got a full slate of games here. Coming up next will be the men's bronze medal match between the New Zealand Indian men, defending champions from last year's tournament, against the newcomers Heritage Barbarians. And then of course it is finals time with 2 gold medal matches. Firstly the women, as Alicia Donovan does enough to win the penalty corner there on the foot of Alicia Patel. Yeah, so coming up, big bronze medal match for the men, and then we've got, of course, like I mentioned, the 2 finals. Both finals will be contested between New Zealand Pacifica and the New Zealand Māori teams in the 12 noon and 2 p.m. games coming up later this afternoon from Komar Sports Centre at Papatoetoe, as the Heritage Barbarians have an opportunity here to extend their lead. It's gone outside the 5-yard line, so any shot is good here. And it's Hohepa. Just gets tangled up in the stick there of Rebecca Massey. She's lining up for the reverse stick shot, and the way all the players watch that go out the circle, it looked like it could have perhaps been a little set play, just to let the ball go outside the 5-yard line and then not worry about the height of the first shot. But they do come a little more traditional here, and it is Rosie Gonzalez who touches the ball on the way through. The umpires will just come down and have a little bit of a chat about it. They obviously just want to make sure they get the right call. And the right call is a goal. It is a deflection up off the stick of Rosie Gonzalez, off the entry from Tuhia Hohepa, that goes in the net for the Heritage Barbarian women. Puts them up 5-1 in this bronze medal match, which will seal the bronze medal for the Heritage Barbarians. They started fast on day 1 and met strong Pacifica and Māori teams on their way through to today's game. And like I said at the start of the broadcast, they were very narrowly missed out on this afternoon's final, and deserved victors here in today's game, as we perhaps see one last flurry for the Barbarians, but the legs will forego them here, and Rebecca Massey out through Manisha Jerem, captain of the Indian women, will just hope for one more opportunity going forward through Jalisha Singh. But Heppy and Weck will just pull that one in under control there to end the match. It's the first match of the day here on day 4 of the Heritage Hockey Tournament. For those of you watching along with SkysportNext on YouTube, the Heritage Hockey Facebook page, or the FIH app anywhere around the world, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a cracker of a game. We expected nothing less. This Barbarian side come out really hot and really fast, and it was a third quarter demolition job which saw them score 3 goals in the period. That really put this game to bed. And the Indians, not through lack of trying, not through lack of a massive effort, especially in that first half, to wear off the attacks of the Heritage Barbarians. It all just became too much in the end there, and they did score themselves a consolation goal through Karishma Kumar in that fourth quarter. Cedar, we mentioned it's such a young team, and they'll be better for this experience.
Absolutely.
There's some girls in there that will gain a lot from playing with some of the role models of Indian hockey out here, and they're still all young and in a position to continue improving.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's always room for improvement each time you do play, so it's good for these young ones to see that and to know how to, I guess, deal with the disappointment a little bit. But they have done really well. They have done awesome this weekend, and just the way that they've built up and progressed has just been really awesome to see. Yeah,
like I said, continued improvement as we see both teams come together here in the middle of the park, which is awesome to see. This is everything that Heritage Hockey is about, and obviously new to the tournament this year, the Heritage Barbarians, and they had players representing countries from right across the world, which is awesome to see. Captain Rosy Gonzalez from Argentina. We saw Shuku Morimoto get in for her first minutes representing Japan there, and there's players across the park that have played really, really well for both sides. And I think the standout for me today is probably Gemma Jones for the Heritage Barbarians. She was involved in a lot of the play going forward, and obviously plays both sides of the ball really well, as we see some of the highlights here. From that second half, it was an early card there, unfortunately, to Jana Verbeek, which put the Indians under a little bit of pressure. You can see just 1-0 at this point in the match, coming out of half-time, but some fantastic work up the front here. This is Gemma Jones finding the back of the net for the Barbarians to double their lead initially in that third quarter. Now remember, this game was only 1-0 at half-time, and goals came aplenty as the legs started to give way, and this is Mihi Pitidoi putting her name on the score sheet. It was good build-up play from her, and then the third here in the quarter is Donovan working, and Murphy Phillips staying with the play there to score her second goal of the tournament. It was those 3 goals in the third quarter that really turned this game over. The Indians, like I said, not without lack of effort. Jalisha Singh has been fantastic all weekend. She just hasn't stopped, attempting to link up there with Jana Verbeek, just unable to come off in front of the goal of Kalia Norton. The Indians had plenty of defensive work to do, and they were equal to a lot of it. Like I said, unfortunately, in the third quarter, that got away from them a little bit on the scoreboard, but they've been impressive in their defensive work. And Seedle, they'll be really pleased with the work of Alyssa Earnshaw, Misha Tatley, Shannon Deacon, and their goalkeepers over the weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. Alyssa and Shannon have just been awesome this weekend. As mentioned earlier, their composure and calmness when they do play, and just the seniority they bring at the back, just to be able to get the ball out is just really awesome to see. And it's good for those young ones to watch as well.
Like we said, the Barbarians had plenty of opportunity from the penalty corner. They didn't make too many of them stick, which can be victim of fourth day of hockey and tired legs and tired bodies out there. They got the result on the board regardless, so not too much to be displeased about. The Indians with plenty of opportunity. That is Jalisha Singh in the muck of it again, and it's a breakout play here. Perhaps rather fortuitous, did fall through to the stick of Karishma Kumar, but this is the goal that the Indian women will remember. There of Kumar walking it into an empty net and trying to spur her team on, but the Barbarians did have one more answer on the scoreboard, and the game ended 5-1. As mentioned earlier, we do have a full slate of games coming up after this. Up next, Seedle will be the Indian men taking on the Heritage Barbarian side. It's a big game for both teams. Similar to this, they won't want to finish on a loss. Both teams will be hunting for bragging rights of the bronze medal. And it's a strong youth influence in both Indian programs that they'll be looking to gain a lot of development and growth out of opportunities like this.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially those young boys coming through. Be good for them to get a win today.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a big improvement and big performance from yesterday's game. And as we just see the last little bits of highlights here from this women's bronze medal match. I'm joined in commentary here by Jalisha Singh from the Indian women's side. Jalisha, tough one out there today. I know it's 4 games in 4 days and the body's probably wearing the brunt of it at the moment, but your girls never gave up. They were big improvers over the week, and it's been a young team that we've seen on display. How proud of you of the efforts over the week?
I'm so proud. Ever since day one, we've just given it 100% in each game. We've stepped up and up and up, and it's been really awesome to see, and it gives me a lot of excitement for next year, seeing our team do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've Seattle and I have spoken at length about the youth in this team and growing the numbers in women's hockey, especially in the Indian community, and it'll be pleasing for you guys to put on solid effort performances. Though the results didn't end up on the scoreboard, just having you guys out here as role models to our Indian community and trying to grow the numbers in that game there. You've got the likes of Shannon Deacon and Alyssa Earnshaw who stepped in and were great for the team, but we want to see more and more Indians taking up these spots.
Yeah, definitely. No, but it was really cool because all of our younger players are starting to come through. Although we've been playing for a long time, it's really cool to see the flair that they bring. It's a little bit different, so as much as it is for the young players to play with us, it goes the other way as well. Yeah,
and you're certainly one out on the park that leads by example. I don't think you stopped at any point in any of those games. Your work rate going forward is absolutely immense, and the way you linked up today with Grishma Kumar and Anjali Panchir and even Jana Verbeek there, it really drives these younger players to aspire to keep playing full efforts and putting everything into the game. So I'm sure they love having you out there as an experienced role model and everything you do on the field. Now it's a final game. You'll be able to rest now. You'll be able to recover. You've probably got club games and bits and pieces coming up over the next little bit. But congratulations on a fantastic tournament. Like I said, the team improved every single game, and you guys should be very proud of the efforts, and we can't wait to see the Indian women back again next year.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. It's the first game there between the Heritage Barbarians and the Indian women, and I'm joined again in commentary. Good friend of mine now. She comes up and sees me every day. Rossi Gonzalez from
miss you.
From the Heritage Barbarians. We'll miss you too. Big last game. It was a third quarter that was really impressive, obviously converting opportunity into points after having the bulk of the first half and not really being able to get it on the scoreboard. You'll be impressed with that third quarter especially.
Yeah. Le quiero mandar un beso a mi mamá, a mi papá, a mi hermano, mi tía, mi novio, mis amigos en Hawke's Bay. Un beso muy grande a la gente de Argentina que me está mirando. Así que nada. Yes, I think today we could score all the goals we couldn't in the last 3, and today we played really well. I think the team we play like a real team, passing, and all the goals were pretty nice goals. So I'm really proud of the effort this team put today.
Yeah, and we spoke in the broadcast that you guys came so close in all the matches. It was all there, it just couldn't get across the line, and today I think you proved that it can all happen, it can all come together, and it's not through lack of trying over the weekend, but there was some fantastic play up the front and the likes of Gemma Jones, who I thought was fantastic today. Alicia Donovan worked tirelessly again, but some of the younger players, Murphy Phillips and Mihi Putiroy, I thought were great today up front for you guys.
Yeah, and I think that everyone today stepped up. We knew that it was a tough game because really everyone wants to play the final. So, but we knew that we deserve to win and to finish this tournament in the best position we could. So I think the young ones today play really well.
Yeah, and it was a good game across the park. You guys will be really proud of final efforts. It's always nicer to finish a tournament on a win, so congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us for Heritage Hockey. Like I said, I will miss you up here for the interviews, but hopefully we can see you again next year. Fantastic work out there, well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fantastic tournament, so hopefully I will be back next year.
Awesome. Thanks Rossi. And that brings the end to our first match of the day. It was the women's bronze medal match, taken away 5-1 in the end by the Heritage Barbarians. Goals there to Gemma Jones, Emily Carlson, Mihi Putiroy, Murphy Phillips and Rossi Gonzalez, with the one goal coming to Karishma Kumar for the Indian side. For those of you watching on the FIH app, the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Facebook page and Sky Sport Next YouTube, we will be back at 10 a.m. with the men's bronze medal match between New Zealand Heritage Barbarians and the New Zealand Indians, which will be sure to be a fiery, cracking encounter.
My Crocs, I forgot about them.